This is my audience. A Christian man was once walking near the border of Somalia when a Somali approached him and asked him if he was a Christian. The Christian said, "Well, what is a Christian?" And the Somali replied, "Well, a Christian is someone who often engages in promiscuity, drinks to get drunk, and does many other shameful activities." Did you know that many people throughout Africa and Asia and the Middle East have never heard the name of Jesus or ever met a true follower of his? My name is Aaron LaRue, and since 2010 I've been traveling to Africa and the Middle East, and I've got to see some of the most spiritually devastating environments the world knows today. Missionaries are vitally important to taking the gospel to these areas of the world that most people haven't heard. Today I'd like to explain to you the significance of missionaries in what we call the 1040 window. I'd also like to share the ways that missionaries promote something that God values and the different ways that missionaries are sent to the 1040 window, their general incomes, and the qualifications needed to be a missionary. The 1040 window describes an area that's 10 degrees south of the equator and 40 degrees north of the equator, and it encompasses some of Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The Joshua Project estimates that 2.79 billion people live in this area of the world alone and have never heard the name of Jesus Christ or the hope that comes with it. Another organization called the Nations for Jesus says that 4 billion of the world's 6 billion population live in this small area of the world, and only 4,000 of the 332,000 missionaries sent by the global church go to this area of the world, which shows a great need for people taking this occupation. Missionaries to the 1040 window leverage their lives to promote something that God values. In the book Speech Communication, A Redemptive Introduction, Dr. Alban asserts that God values our attempts to communicate the gospel of forgiveness and redemption to those who don't yet know Him. That's what missionaries do. Missionaries who live in the 1040 window live in a ratio of about one missionary to every 1 million predominantly lost souls. Missionaries to the 1040 window are sent by different organizations. Some organizations are larger, some organizations are smaller, and some missionaries are sent by less organized bodies, typically known as the local churches. Since they're sent by different organizations, they have different qualifications, different incomes, and different benefits. However, one very common requirement by countries in the 1040 window is that in order to obtain a long-term visa, you must first have a 4-year bachelor's degree from a college. So most missionaries in this area of the world at least have a 4-year bachelor's degree just so that they can maintain a long-term visa to stay in these countries. The incomes of most missionaries in this area of the world are very modest, and they live with pay that only really provides their daily necessities, which is why most missionaries must maintain Paul's frame of thought whenever he wrote to Timothy and said that godliness with contentment is much gain. The Christian whom I referred to earlier in my presentation was given an opportunity to share the gospel with the Somali man who had never heard before. Had that missionary not been sent to the 1040 window to be on the border of Somalia, that Somali man likely would have lived the rest of his life with no knowledge of Jesus and having never been told of the hope that comes through Jesus Christ. In summary, missionaries are valuable tools of spreading the gospel to those who have not heard it in the 1040 window. There are many ways to go and many ways to be sent to the 1040 window, but always are valuable, and missionaries of all different persuasions are needed. Thank you for listening to my speech about the spiritual needs expressed by this area of the world and how missionaries are important tools of evangelism and spreading the gospel to these people.